Vlad Banners Only, a team that's experienced everything during their time at XLNC. From struggling to find a true identity to winning it all. This week on Legacies, we'll be taking a look at how one of the greatest teams in the history of Heavy League came to be.
Everyone, and BBO are going to run over the front. Isn't available. JBL forced to flash over the wall, and the spear in the heart of Ego, and a double taunt to follow. It is an excellent play encore that finds Streets an excellent game. This has got to be the game-ending fight. Bullet time, baby! And they find everyone. It's a four-man ult, and a triple kill the gates.
Our story starts in the fall split of Season 1, where VBO Jimmy entered the original Vlad Banners Only roster. It consisted of Walnut as support, Gates as AD carry, Prophet in the mid lane, Jimmy himself as the jungler, and Temtem in the top lane. While the individual talent of these players was strong, they lacked a true competitive identity and saw themselves in the middle of the pack at the start of the split. It wasn't until week 4 where, due to a schedule change, Stingus was added to the roster in place of Temtem. The inception of Stingus changed the direction of the team as a whole, as his background as a coach plus his competitive experience alongside Prophet and Jimmy proved to advance the competitive integrity of the team.
Going to go down.
They're winning everywhere.
Jimmy finds Ego, and absolutely right, DJ. Everywhere that fights are breaking out, VBO are winning.
Even still, the roster fought their way through the regular season, just barely clinching the second seed going into playoffs. VBO at this point finally defined their primary style of playing around heavy leads in the jungle while waiting for the mechanically intense gates to come online.
Predicts the flash into the enchanted crystal arrow. Dunsies, Dunzo. There it is. Fantastic CC lockdown. Walnut and Gates do it again.
Might be a little too deep. Ego's gonna find a quick resonating strike. Prophet doesn't have enough damage, but Jimmy has shut down the GP. And here they go. Ego's dead. The right shutdown is handed over to VBO. Get revenge for game number 1, and they'll hold the crown for now.
While it was a simple game plan, the lack of their presence during the regular season plus the fact that they didn't play in quarterfinals provided a competitive edge. Going into semifinals, VBO quickly found that their 2-0 success over YO Boomers was overshadowed by Lotus Esports' destruction of the undefeated CGC.
Obviously, we talked about in the first in the week where we were saying, "Oh, let's try this out." We saw CGC most likely first. I'm actually impressed that we both have Vlad Banners Only second.
Up until this point, everyone had thought that CGC would take an easy spot into finals as their track record demonstrated. Lotus's 2-0 against them proved that no one had a clue regarding the strength of these teams. Even though VBO had faced defeat at the hands of Lotus once before, this time was different. That night, Vlad Banners Only took an insanely clean 3-0 and proved that they were stronger than anyone had thought. Going into their second split, VBO made some major changes regarding their roster. Notably, the hypercarry Gates was removed and Stingus shifted down from top lane to take his place. Filling the gap, Dusk to Dawn was pulled from Stingus' varsity roster at Western Michigan University to play top.
Mr. Dusk to Dawn, the shine, the top lane, question mark? Control warded, Dusk to Dawn has to get away, the Encore finds 3, and it's a lot of healing that's going through, but the Dragon blows the way of Jimmy as he takes it for the squad. But what does the fight look like here for VBO? They're gonna chase everyone first blood on over to Akuma Glade, but the rest of the fight will break out. Dusk to Dawn will find a return kill, it's a 1-for-1.
Overall, the team was fueled by their success in their recent split and looked stronger with a good focus. Even with the changes, VBO still played around Jimmy's aggressive jungle patterns and a split carry potential between Dusk to Dawn and Stingus. Into their first few weeks, VBO faced a series of Game 2 losses in the new double best-of-2 format that brought the stability of the team into question. But eventually, the kinks worked themselves out, and VBO shot through the regular season, claiming second seed once again.
Towers and inhibitor. The Herald took at 21 minutes. It's 21 minutes into the game. There's no Nexus towers left.
This is going to be the fastest game time of the entire split.
He's in mark, but the TP is in. Kiwiism is so incredibly low, and the parlay follows the flash over the wall. Dusk to Dawn now has found himself a 4th kill. Alistair can't get out, has to flat
incredibly bold from VBO. They are setting themselves up for potential disaster. They are melting through this Baron though, but every ultimate except for the True Shot Barrage is still available.
Gonna be called down and knocks up only one member, but it's Walnut has to keep himself safe. The Event Horizon will keep Crooked Serpent very low. LZ has to get into the pit. He goes in. It's secured by Jimmy, but a huge encore finds 3 members, and JBL shuffles them all back into the members of Lotus, but they just don't have enough gold to finish off the fight, and VBO will shut down the attempt by Lotus to steal away the Baron. They'll shut down the attempt by Lotus to take back the crown, and Lotus are silenced. Haters be damned. VBO claim Baron at 24 minutes.
Just like their first split, there happened to be an incredible roster above them in the hands of Glaive Amethyst.
8-1-6 on this Kled, 7-2-6 on the Tristana's POS2, and they are just destroying YO Boomers regardless of how the fight starts.
VBO had only ever beaten the Glaive team in one singular game, and in their rematch of the final week of regular season, VBO took a destructive 0-2 loss. Either way, VBO still proved that they were a threat after destroying Akuma Glaives in a 3-1 fashion during semifinals. Leading up to the final match, the question rang true in everyone's head. Could VBO claim another championship, or would they fall at the hands of their competitor?
There was no ward for Dust to Dawn, having to flash but isn't enough. Now dashing away, but it was never going to get you to safety. First blood. PS2 looking for a solo kill to profit. The exhaust is down the cage as well. Flash follow and a solo kill for this Tristana. Toward it PS2, but he's taken down low by the box. That's a huge lilting lullaby. It finds Stu, and here comes the Goon Squad. Glaive Amethyst has arrived. They're gonna take down Walnut. They're gonna take down Stingus. They're gonna take down 5 members, and they will take down VBO in game 1. Here comes Clog. He's found one. He's got the 80 carry. Stingus is immediately deleted. VBO gonna be wiped off Summoner's Rift, and Glaive find the fight for make it 5-0, an unofficial ace.
And Glaive have done it in 3-0 fashion, a clean sweep of the former champions of Heavy League. They have come into the league. They have dominated from start to finish.
While VBO's roster may have faced defeat during the spring split, the team's identity still lived on as one of the best. Going into the offseason before summer split, Prophet, Jimmy, and Walnut all found themselves unavailable to compete in the nearing competition. Team ownership was passed over to Stingus, and 3 new players, Baka, Donut Maker, and Docto, were added to the roster to compensate. With this drastic change, Stingus decided to put the old name, Vlad Banners Only, to rest. In its place, Who Flashed That Fight was born.
Carries, he's arrived on the critical team fight, and Giga's flashing forward. Giga's gonna trade his life out, but Stingus gets himself a double.
Can this new roster find success?
Rob, the most fed member, will not be able to do much. Dust Dawn going in, gonna hit 3 with the ulti. A massive encore is gonna hit 3 more as Dust Dawn's a rampage. He's gonna drop and shoot him down. Can't get enough damage on Giga. Has a little bit of true damage with those undertow axes to go forward. But look who hits again with one swift move.
Or will it perish among the many names that have graced XLNC Heavy League?
In the middle of everyone, a massive taunt. There's the exhaust of everyone, but Dust to Dawn's in a killing spree, and look who it is, free fire in the back line. He has dropped my jaw. He has no flaws. He leaves Glaive and all, and it's Stingus on Cogmaw.
Only time will tell. Hey, I hope you just enjoyed the first episode of Legacies. This series will be covering the history of some of the most prevalent teams in XLNC's light, mid, and heavy leagues. If you enjoyed what you just saw, consider looking below to see some of the many ways you can support us.